Hello everybody, welcome back to Dragon Age Origins. It's me, Tallara, and our gang of Talon, Alistair, Liliana, and Morgan are off to the Chantry to see if we can free our friend. Well, I guess friend is a stretch. Free the guy we found in the cage at the end of the village, because he looks tough and he might be good in a fight. So we're off to go ask the mother of the Chantry,
makes you catch cold in the head, but we all
see
know
if she'll let
that's
him
not
go. What are you
true.
guys saying?
But sometimes they are right, and they are right in this.
You know the stories about...
Of course. You think my mother would let me go without telling me all the stories of her youth?
My mother told me stories too.
What are you guys talking
She was
about?
the
Your
one who
mothers?
kindled my love of the old tales
I missed the
and
beginning of
legends.
this conversation.
My mother's stories curdled my blood and haunted my dreams. No little girl wants to hear about the wilder men her mother took to her bed, using them till they were spent, then killing them. No little girl wants to be told that this is also expected
Wow,
of
Morgan
her
had quite a
once she comes of age.
lovely childhood by the sounds of things.
I see.
Clemens
No,
was a
you
very
don't.
kind and
Really
gentle
don't.
mother. Right. Hello, revered mother, we're back.
Good day, Sister Liliana. I'm surprised to see you're still in Lothering.
It is good to see you as well, Your Reverence.
Is there something I can do for you then?
I wanted to talk about Sten, the Canary you imprisoned.
It might have been kinder to execute him, but I leave his fate to the Maker. Why does he interest you?
Is there any way I can convince you to release him?
Then his next victims might count you and me as their murderers.
I was thinking you might release him into my custody.
And what do you say on this, Liliana? You know your friend better than I.
These are unusual times, Your Reverence. With us, the Kunari might do some good. I am sure of it, in fact.
Were things not so desperate? Very well, I trust you.
Oh, wow.
Take
She took
these
less
keys to
convincing
his
than I
cage
thought.
and make
Having
him watch over
Liliana
you.
in our party, I
Thank
think,
you, Your Reverence.
helped
Your
things
trust
along.
is not misplaced.
We have an in to the Chantry with our girl Liliana, although she no longer wears robes and instead wears chokers. Liliana has evolved from Chantry priest to badass bow wielder. But that's good. So we got the key, and now we can release Sten into our custody. I mean, to be fair, that's how I joined the Grey Wardens. I was about to be taken into custody, and Duncan claimed me, so we're simply passing along the favor.
Alistair.
Yes, well don't worry. It's not what you think.
I see.
I was looking at your nose.
And what is it about my nose that captivates you so?
I was just thinking that it looks exactly like your mother's.
That's
I
creepy.
hate you so much.
Oh god, I can't get enough of those two. Their banter is 11 out of 10. Hi Stan, we're back. We have a key.
You wish something more of me?
I have the key to open your cage.
I confess, I did not think the priestess would part with it.
She agreed to release you into my custody.
So be it. Set me free and I will follow you against the Blight.
How can you help us exactly?
I have spent my life in the Vanguard. I know war, and your lands need all the help they can get.
Very well, I'll let you out.
And so it is done. I will follow you into battle. In doing so, I shall find my atonement.
What if I don't lead you to your atonement?
Then I will find it myself. May we proceed? I am eager to be elsewhere.
Alright. And now our party has grown so much. Unfortunately, we are not going to put Stan in our party though, because we already have two warriors, me and Alistair. So he'll be a backup warrior. He can hang out with Muffin in the background. There we go. We have another new friend. The party just gets bigger and bigger. Now let's explore these hayfields for loot. Hooray! Oh, enemies in the hayfield? Oh, these are the bandits we were told to clear out. I found them! Alright, down goes bandit group number 1. So I didn't realize the bandits were actually just like on the outskirts of town. I figured they were farther out, but I guess they're preying sort of on the refugees that are on the outskirts. We definitely need to take care of them now. They are even a bigger threat than I realized. That's group number 1. I think group number 2 is right here, right next to their buds. They weren't far away. They've even got doggos. Liliana, why aren't you fighting anyone? Oh wow, you got hella range, girl. Wait, what? Now why are we not fighting anyone? No, 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 no. Everyone, get your shit together and start fighting people. Thank you. Alright, everyone is attacking someone. Yeah, Morgan and Liliana got hella range. Very nice. Great work, ladies. The boys will take care of the grunt work.
That's a...
Lothering could be a cute little town if, you know, it wasn't so poverty and bandit stricken. It's got a little river here, it's got some trees, it's got even more bandits up on the beach. Okay, so now that all the bandits have been cleared out, I guess we can go turn in this quest for a little reward. Right, Alistair, you looking fancy. Look at our ethereal glow here, making us even fancier. Alright, let's check on this side before we head back to town. Oh, if loot means bandits, then yeah, we have them. Oh no, it's Darkspawn! Oh, what the heck? I didn't think they would be this close to town. Phew! No Darkspawn in my little town.
My friend, I'm much obliged.
You're welcome.
The name's Bodon Feddick, merchant and entrepreneur. This here is my son, Sandal. Say hello, my boy.
Hello.
Road's been mighty dangerous these days. Mind if I ask what brings you out here? Perhaps we're going the same way.
I'll say I doubt you want to travel with a Grey Warden.
Grey Wardens? My, that does rather explain a lot. No offense, but I suspect there's more excitement on your path than my boy and I can handle.
Fair enough.
Allow me to bid you farewell and good fortune, though.
Goodbye.
Now then, let's get this mess cleaned up, shall we?
Goodbye. Glad I could help you guys. Ooh. That mage had a sealed letter on her, which is titled Maleficarum? Maleficarum? That's a big word. Regrets. I won't go back. Let them hunt and dread finding me. But you, Melis, should not live this life. It would please me if you found a life in the Circle Tower. I left a few things there, mostly stolen from the enchanters. Sell them to fund a new path. The cache is in the study area, middle alcove. Goodbye. Ah, so she was an apostate mage. Would run away from the circle. These guys are getting their stuff back together.
Hello.
Hello, Sandal.
We'll be off as soon as this mess is cleaned up. Thank you kindly for all your assistance.
You're welcome. Glad I could help. Take care.
We done heard what was said. You're a warden. I don't know if you killed King Kalen, and make her forgive me, I don't care. But that bounty on your head could feed a lot of hungry bellies. Attack!
Oh, God. Lovely. A nice ambush. Alright, Alistair, you take these guys. I'll take these guys. I hate having to slaughter people who are like barely even armed. What a terrible idea, people. I know you're desperate, but think these things through. You're wearing a t-shirt. I'm wearing a full set of armor.
I think we work well together.
Well, that was unfortunate. May as well loot their bodies. He had 2 silver on him, and no one else had anything. Sad.
The path of righteousness is full of hardship, but the Maker smiles upon its travelers.
Oh, we handed in the quest? I was gonna say, did we tell him we did it? But we got 3 gold, so I guess. Looks like there is 2 more quests to do, though. First one is, when bears attack, on behalf of Thed the farmer and his departed son, I inscribe this missive. As the Maker is my witness, I charge all those with knowledge of arms and armor to brave the dangers of the northern wood, to find the family of bears that mauled and killed the boy Enith. For they are an abomination in the Maker's sight, and their hides would prove great comfort to the northern farms, and solace for Thed's family. As a chanter for Lothering, I do pledge a sum of 1 sovereign to whoever carries this, the Maker's will. Exercise caution first and foremost. May his light bathe us all. We also have a last keepsake. Thanks to all the villagers who've opened their barns and crofts to the refugees in these dark times. The Chantry regularly hears praise from our visitors, and your virtuous deeds are mentioned in many prayers. Sadly, there is a lone boy in the village whose mother, Goodwife Sarha, is missing. As she has been missing for the better part of a week as of this writing, she is presumed dead. Oh, this was the kid that we met earlier, and we told him to go to the Chantry. May the Maker bless her passing. She was a lady of middle years with red hair and fond of a green cloak. If any traveler or resident comes across her in the wilds, please return her body or the effects on her remains. In later years, the boy will be thankful to have such keepsakes to remember his brave mother by. The office of the Chanter will compensate this kindness with the sum of 50 silvers. May the Maker turn his gaze on us all. Okay, so do we have to go outside of town to do these quests? No. We just have to go up north to where we originally entered this area. Or no, sorry, we have to go north up around the fields where we just were. Okay. Back this way! Weren't we looking for bears? Oh, maybe the wolves are what killed that kid's mom. Oh my god, there's a lot of wolves. This is not just a few wolves, this is a lot of wolves. Phew! Wow. How many wolves was that? Like 10! Good job, team. Okay, so is her... Ah, yes, this must be her body. Got a corpse here. You found the body of the boy's mother and have recovered her keepsake. Okay, and then we're looking for bears? Bears was the other quest. Oh, I found the bears. Luckily there are only 3 bears, not 10 like the wolves. I think they should be probably a little tougher. Bears defeated. We have to take their hides? Did we automatically take their hides? I think we automatically took them. We could take some elf fruit too. Alright, 2 more quests complete. I'm gonna be the hero of Lothering before this is over. We're gonna build a statue of us. Oh no. Are those spiders? Why do all video games need to have spiders? I don't understand. Oh, I hate it. I hate everything. Kill them quickly. That was disgusting, and I hated every second of that. Apparently that's where you get toxin extract in the wild, though. We could have just came and murdered these spiders earlier. Ugh! Were they at least guarding something good back in this cave? Nothing? What a waste. Alright, back to town again to turn in these quests. I want them to replace that windmill with a giant statue of me.
Let him take notice and shine upon thee, for thou hast done his work this day. And the stars stood still, the winds did quiet, and all animals of earth and air held their breath. All was silent in prayer and thanks.
Thank you. We got 50 silver. Quest completed, and we got a level up. So all's well that ends well. Okay, now I think we've done everything in this town. So, we have to go leave Lothering through the entrance that we were at earlier when we saved those 2 dwarves from the Darkspawn. Hey again, guys. Careful on the road. Spooky.
Bad dreams, huh?
Must have been something I ate.
Drank more like, as in the tainted blood, remember? You see, part of being a Grey Warden is being able to hear the Darkspawn. That's what your dream was, hearing them. The Archdemon, it talks to the Horde, and we feel it just as they do. That's why we know this is really a blight.
The Archdemon? Is that the dragon?
I don't know if it's really a dragon, but it sure looks like one. But yes, that's the Archdemon. It takes a bit, but eventually you can block the dreams out. Some of the older Grey Wardens say they can understand the Archdemon a bit, but I sure can't. Anyhow, when I heard you thrashing around, I thought I should tell you. It was scary at first for me too.
Thank you, Alistair. I appreciate it.
That's what I'm here for. To deliver unpleasant news and witty one-liners. Anyhow, you're up now, right? Let's pull up camp and get a move on.
Okay then. This is the party camp. All of our party's injuries are healed when we return here. Each party member can be found somewhere in the camp, making it an ideal location to hand out new equipment, give gifts, or talk. We will definitely take this time to talk to our friends. First up's Liliana.
Yes?
I'd like to talk.
Well, here I am.
This vision of yours.
I knew this would come up sooner or later. I don't know how to explain, but I had a dream. In it, there was an impenetrable darkness. It was so dense, so real. And there was a noise, a terrible, ungodly noise. I stood on a peak.
Why is
and
Muffin
watched
barking
as
so
the
much?
darkness
Shh!
consumed
It's story
everything.
time, Muffin.
And when the storm swallowed the last of the sun's light, I fell. And the darkness drew me in.
So you dreamed of the blight?
I suppose I did. That was what the darkness was, no? When I woke, I went to the Chantry's gardens, as I always do. But that day, the rose bush in the corner had flowered. Everyone knew that bush was dead. It was grey and twisted and gnarled, the ugliest thing you ever saw. But there it was, a single beautiful rose. It was as though the Maker stretched out his hand to say, even in the midst of this darkness, there is hope and beauty. Have faith.
And this made you want to help me?
In my dream, I fell. Or maybe I jumped. I'd do anything to stop the blight. I know that we can do it. There are so many good things in the Maker's world. How can I sit by while the blight devours everything?
The Chantry says the Maker has left us.
He's still here. I hear him in the wind and the waves. I feel him in the sunlight that warms my skin. I know what the Chantry says about the Maker, and what should I believe? What I feel in my heart, or what others tell me?
I understand. Let's move on.
I know what I know, and no one will ever make that untrue.
Alright. Let's stand.
Why are we stopping?
We're working together. I think I should get to know you.
There are darkspawn to be fought. Is this delay needful?
I need to know if I can trust you at my back.
I am Kunari. I have given my word to aid you. We are not people of idle promises.
I've never seen a Kunari before. Tell me about your people.
No.
No? Why not?
People are not simple. They cannot be summarized for
I don't
easy
believe you just hit
reference
me
in
with
the
that
manner
straight
of-
up no.
The elves are a lithe, pointy-eared people who excel at poverty.
A little hostile, aren't we? We excel at poverty. This guy is a straight savage.
Many humans have said that to me. I do not understand it. If I were indeed hostile, you would be bleeding.
Okay, so this is you being calm and helpful?
Couldn't you tell?
So, you said you were in the army.
I am.
Have you ever fought in a war?
I have always fought in war, elf.
What do you mean by that?
My people have been at war since the moment we set foot in the Northern Islands.
So the Qunari don't come from the islands?
We do now.
Where did you come from before?
Somewhere else.
Can you be a little more specific, my dude?
No.
Okay.
I was born in Seheron. Of the land we came from, I know nothing, not even its name. I do not see how this matters. Seheron and Parvolan are distant. Ferelden and the Darkspawn are immediate.
You are quite the conversationalists. What's your hurry?
What a strange language you speak. You say hurry, where I would say duty.
Alright, never mind. Let's just keep moving.
As you wish.
This conversation is going nowhere. I need to find Muffin, because she will not stop barking. Hello?
Oh, why, you little...
What? What?
Your furry friend here took offense at me getting near his food. He snapped at me, look.
It was just a warning. He could have taken a hand off.
Don't you think I don't know it? Sometimes I forget that he's a war dog. That'll teach me.
Can I give you belly rubs?
I once heard a really old legend about how the Hound warriors in the days of the old tribes would feed their Mabari the flesh of the vanquished. Well, that's what I heard anyway. It would sometimes be human flesh.
This
Oh,
drama.
tell the difference. For all you know, maybe you've already been fed something. Someone.
Alistair! Stop it! Don't listen to Alistair. He's full of rubbish.
Hey!
That was pretty cute, I gotta say. I guess we can talk to Alistair as well.
What do you need?
You want to talk about Duncan?
You don't have to do that. I know you didn't know him as long as I did.
That doesn't mean I don't mourn his loss.
I should have handled it better. Duncan warned me right from the beginning that this could happen. Any of us could die in battle. I shouldn't have lost it, not when so much is riding on us, not with the Blight and everything. I'm sorry.
No harm done, Alistair.
I'd like to have a proper funeral for him. Maybe once this is all done, if we're still alive. I don't think he had any family to speak of.
He had you.
I suppose he did. It probably sounds stupid, but part of me wishes I was with him, in the battle. I feel like I abandoned him.
He saved your life by sending you to the tower.
Yes. I know. I think he came from High Ever, or so he said. Maybe I'll go up there sometime. See about putting up something in his honor. I don't know. Have you had someone close to you die? Not that I mean to pry, I'm just...
I've lost enough to know what you're going through.
Yes, I imagine you really have, haven't you? Thank you. Really, I mean it. It was good to talk about it, at least a little.
Anytime, Alistair. So wait, can we give him a present?
What do you need? Ask away. Yes.
Indeed.
Indeed.
How do I give people presents? No idea. Oh! There's a button.
What do you need?
I don't know. Maybe I'll get the opportunity later. Who are you? Levi Dryden?
You're a hard man to find. Where are my manners? The name is Levi Dryden. Did Duncan ever mention me? Levy of the Coins? Levy the Trader?
I'm Talon. I've never heard of you.
Really? He never told you of old Levy? We've known each other for years. But here I am carrying on while you have a blight to stop. Don't want to waste your time. But you see, Duncan promised that together we'd look into something important for the Wardens. And for me. But poor Duncan's... well, no more. A tragedy it is, at that. But I know he would want his work carried on, his pledge fulfilled.
What promise did Duncan make to you?
My family, well, past a bit checkered to see. Nobles look at us with disdain. My great-great-grandmother, Sophia Dryden, was the last warden commander of Ferelden.
Oh,
back
wow.
when the wardens were known as freeloaders.
Oh.
So King Arlen banished the
Wasn't a good
wardens
title to
and he
have.
took House Dryden's land and titles.
What happened next?
Hard to say. After King Arlen died, there was a civil war, loads worse than this one. And our family was on the run, hunted by enemies, with nary a friend in the world. But Drydens are tough. We rebuilt, became merchants, and we never lost our pride.
I'm surprised you kept your name.
Our family's only crime was guarding the kingdom against the blight. We're not ashamed of that.
So what favor did you ask of Duncan?
I asked for the truth. My family reveres Sophia Dryden. We know she died at the old Grey Warden base, Soldier's Peak. We want evidence to clear her name. It won't restore our land or our titles, but it'll restore our honor.
I've never even heard of Soldier's Peak.
Well, no one's been to Soldier's Peak since Arlen's days. At least none that's come back. I spent years mapping the maze of tunnels to the peak, and I found the way a few years back. So I went to Duncan, I did, and I said that he could reclaim the old base and my family could have its honor.
Why didn't Duncan help you?
Darkspawn surfaced in southern Ferelden, and Duncan got plenty busy recruiting new wardens and meeting with good King Kaelin. Duncan said he would help after the Battle of Ostagar. Said there might be useful things at the peak, but he never had the chance.
What do you need from me?
I can pick my way through the tunnels at the base of Soldier's Peak, but the place, well, they say it's haunted, and it'll be dangerous for certain. Will you think on it at least?
Your family's faith will be rewarded. I will help you.
1,000 blessings upon you, Warden. I'll mark down the location on your map. When you arrive, we'll pick our way through the tunnels together.
We got a new codex entry. The history of the Drydens. In the years following the siege of Soldier's Peak, all those who carried the Dryden name were hunted by King Arlen's forces. Our noble Dryden name was smeared, and all lands and holdings belonging to the Drydens were seized by the crown. The king feared that the rebellion started by Sophia would be kept alive by her loyal friends and family, and anyone with connections to the Drydens suffered greatly. It is little wonder, then, that the few remaining Drydens found themselves with no allies and nowhere to turn. Tobin Dryden, Sophia's brother and guardian of her young son, had no choice but to flee Ferelden. Tobin bought passage to Antiva on a merchant vessel, and traveled under the name Darosher. Once in Antiva, Tobin set about building a new, quiet life for himself and his nephew. He started a small business and eventually made a name for himself as a trader. The de Rocher family prospered, and the name Dryden was almost forgotten. However, in 815 Blessed, Sylvie de Rocher uncovered old documents belonging to Tobin and pieced together the family's history. In her pride, and perhaps in her naivety, Sylvie reclaimed the name Dryden and returned to Ferelden. King Arlen lies dead, and the Dryden name lives on. Our family has survived, even thrived, since the death of Sophia Dryden. The nobles of Ferelden may still spit on the Dryden name, but we Drydens know that Sophia Dryden was greater than them, almost a queen, and a hero to the people of Ferelden. I think it said we had character entry about Sophia as well. Yep, Sophia Dryden. Sophia Dryden is Ferelden's light and her most brilliant jewel. Nothing on this earth can ever quench her fire. Arlessa Sophia Dryden was the young Arlen's rival for the throne of Ferelden. Dryden was a strong and charismatic leader with much support from the Banorn. When Arlen finally won the crown, Dryden refused to relent. She pushed her claim, was caught, and accused of treason. Her sympathizers continued to support her, however. In order to appease them, Dryden was spared execution and forced to join the Grey Wardens instead. Dryden survived the joining and dazzled the Grey Wardens at Soldier's Peak with her leadership skills and charm. She eventually rose through the ranks to become the Warden Commander of Ferelden. Before Commander Dryden, the Grey Wardens were seen as a relic of an older time, and an unnecessary drain on the nobles' coffers. Dryden, though, with her political connections, reinvigorated the Wardens and rapidly increased their numbers. In the meantime, King Arlen proved himself a devious king, willing to go to brutal lengths to silence his opponents. Arlen's reign of terror grew worse with each passing year, and some of the bands approached Commander Dryden in desperation, begging her to intercede. She agreed, and thus was the rebellion against King Arland born. Arlen learned of the rebellion and took steps to end it. He publicly suspended all tithing to the Grey Wardens, and declared that they were no longer welcome in Ferelden. Some of the Wardens, mindful that they were supposed to remain politically neutral, felt disgraced by Dryden's involvement in Ferelden politics, and left her side, even as the king's forces lay siege to Soldier's Peak. The siege took months and ended with the death of Sophia Dryden. Wow, the Drydens do have quite the history, hey? So we also have an entry about Sten. The Northern Islands are remote, lush jungles that harbor cities rumored to be the most extraordinary ever built. These are the lands of the Kunari, lands that no foreign eyes ever see. Only the stories of 3 exalted marches waged against the giants have reached the south, until the arrival of Sten. The stoic giant in the cage was surely the strangest thing the people of Lothering had ever seen, until the Bright struck. He was sent with a small group of Kunari soldiers to investigate the Blight and report back. Outside Lothering, they were ambushed by Darkspawn. They fought off the attack, but only Sten survived. Farmers found him dying and took him in, but when he awoke, alone and unarmed, he panicked, killing the entire family. Realizing he had sacrificed his honor, Sten waited for the villagers to come and surrendered, expecting death. We got some backstory into what happened with Sten. We learned more from the Codex than Sten ever actually told us. Oh my god, hey!
It's good to see you, my
It's our little dwarf friends.
Bodon Fennick at your service once again. I saw your camp and thought to myself, what safer place to rest for the evening than in the camp of a Grey Warden? I'm perfectly willing to offer you a fine discount for the inconvenience of our presence. How does that sound? Good? Yes?
You're free to stay. Just mind yourselves.
Wonderful. Thank the gentleman, won't you, boy?
Thank you, sir.
We won't be a bother to you and your companions, I assure you. If you should need enchantments, simply talk to my boy. Otherwise, come speak with me.
Okay.
Hello.
The boy's a bit simple, but he's rather good with enchantments. One of those tranquil fellas actually called him a... what was it now? A savant. I had no idea such a thing existed.
What enchantments does he do?
He can fold lyrium into almost any weapon or piece of armor, though naturally some of the more extravagant materials will take more lyrium than others. It's a process that some of the master smiths back in Orzammar will perform, but my boy here is just as adept at it. Isn't that right, boy?
Enchantment!
Alright. We got our sword enchanted with electricity. Looks very cool on my back. Thank you very much, Sandal.
Interest you in this hat? A pair of earrings, perhaps? A cheese knife?
So what's your story exactly?
I suppose since you told me about you being a Grey Warden, it's only fitting for me to be as open. I am originally from Orzammar, the famed dwarven city that lies beneath the stately Frostback Mountains. I was a merchant there, too. Merchant caste. These things are in the blood, you know. You can't just leave them behind. I ran a fairly successful business. Rare artifacts, you know. Old things, grand things. The nobles loved them. Reminded them of the lost glory days, I suppose.
Why did you leave?
One day, a noble woman came to my store. She looked around for a bit and then started shrieking in dismay. Apparently, she believed that a pair of braces I had for sale once belonged to her brother. He'd been lost in a cave-in, you see, while on an expedition to clear out the Darkspawn from one of the tunnels running close to the city. They were made specially for him. They're unique, she shrieked. He stole them from my poor brother's corpse. She had me arrested on the spot, of course. Nobles, they're touchy like that.
And did you steal them?
Well, I didn't steal them. You see, I'd been paying these castless thugs to venture out into the deep roads for me. The lost tides. They're full of things that people left behind. Sometimes you can find a treasure. Something worth a little gold.
I mean, better to do something with them than leave them to rot, I guess.
That's exactly how I see it. The noblewoman, she wasn't too happy with the theft of her brother's braces. I don't know what they planned for me, and I didn't want to find out. Bribed the guard that was watching me and took off for the surface first opportunity I got. Never looked back.
Fascinating story. Thank you.
You're quite welcome. Now, is there anything the boy or I can get you?
Have you heard any rumors?
I hear the Dwarven King is passed on. Old as he was probably poisoned or assassinated. That's how the dwarves normally go out, isn't it? That's what I've heard on the road, anyhow. Take it for what it is.
You didn't mention your son in your tale.
Ah, yes. I'm married to a fine woman back in Denerim, it's true. She'd give me a son if she could, but that's not likely to ever be. Sandal here. I found him in the deep roads years ago. Abandoned, I think. And he was never quite right in the head. I took him in, and I brought him with me when I came here to the Surface. He may not be my blood, true, but I think of him as one.
We left Orzammar.
That's right, boy. Maybe one day we'll see it again.
That was generous of you.
It's not as if I don't benefit, mind you. Turns out the boy's a natural working with enchantments. He might have even been lyrium-addled. I never thought of that before, to be honest. Happens sometimes. He can work an enchantment into just about anything, however, given some time. Could probably open his own shop, if he knew how.
Enchantment.
Well, he does seem to enjoy it, at least.
Alright, I should go.
Of course. Good fortune to you and yours.
Goodbye.
You too. Bye. Alright, we've got one more companion to talk to. Morgan has decided she is too cool for school, and she has created her own camp over here. Still in her cool hat.
What do you wish of me?
I'd like to ask you something.
If you must.
Oh, we've got a lot of backstory questions here. Okay. Maybe we'll save the backstory questions for next time, guys. I have a feeling me and Morgan are going to get into quite a conversation here. So we will end today's episode right here at this roaring fire, and we'll pick back up next time, learning a little bit more about our wonderful friend Morgan.